Hey everybody, Dom Nicastro, managing editor here at CMSWire. I'm here with our very new contributor, Art Harrison, co-founder and chief growth officer at Daylight. Art, first of all, congratulations. Thanks for being a new CMSWire contributor.
No, a pleasure for having me today, and really excited to be a contributor. Really like what you're doing, and can't wait to kind of share as many ideas and thoughts as I have. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're so happy about that. And, tell us about, how you arrived in your current role and a little bit about what your company does since you're a new contributor.
Sure. So as you said, I'm one of the co-founders. I'm fortunate enough to be partnered up with a childhood friend of mine. Met my co-founder, our CEO, back when we were about 5 years old. On a precursor to the Boy Scouts. Reconnected later on in life. I've been a software developer. I've been a VP of marketing. And what really drew me into this idea was that, we had a mission, and we still have a mission of improving every interaction between people and process. So in a nutshell, what Daylight does, or the easiest way for people to think about Daylight, is it's a little bit like TurboTax, but for any organization. You can't always control and change a business process, like all the paper forms you have, but TurboTax for the tax industry created a better on-ramp so that it was natural. It was a better user experience to actually capture and provide the information for your taxes. And Daylight is a platform that lets organizations do that for everything and every process they have, customer facing, employee facing, or through the assisted channel.
Well, I love TurboTax, Art, especially when that number on the top left starts to go down or not up so much.
It goes green instead of red.
Green instead of red, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's when you start to get a little nervous, when it's favoring the red. So that's great. Thanks for that background. And that's fun. So 5 years old. Usually, Art, in press releases or like about us, you see a tech company that says these co-founders were dorm roommates at MIT. That's what you usually
see. I did my good network. My last job, I hired a friend of mine from about the same age. He was, and he took over my role after me. So apparently, I did all my good networking somewhere in that kindergarten, grade 1 area. I tell my kids that every day. You never know. Look around you. These might be the ones.
Everyone's saying, "Hey, can I trade your snack for mine?" And meanwhile, you're sitting there saying, "Hey, let's get hooked up on LinkedIn."
Yeah, absolutely.
So your debut column with us talks about fusion teams and how that helps customer experience. So let's start by talking a little bit about what are fusion teams, what's like a raw definition for you, and essentially how are they helping CX teams get things done?
So, in general, there's no one way a fusion team has to be, but it really is this idea of taking the projects and bringing together a multidisciplinary group of people that know the process. So you have people from the business, from technology, from CX, bring together a small group of people that cross all the different roles and make sure that they're active participants in the project. So rather than just, we're going to get the requirements and then we're going to take it away and we'll come back to you later on and show you what we got, the fusion team brings them together, makes them equally accountable and empowered to deliver projects.
Yeah, there's a lot of terms out there about how people get work done, like agile, Kanban, all this. Like, how does that kind of sort of mesh with fusion teams? Like, what is there a set way they do things? Is it agile or?
Again, I'm, at least personally, I'm not one that sees it always as prescriptive, but yes, most typically you are talking about an agile approach to problem solving. But it was the fusion team was kind of extending that and saying, rather than taking an IT team and saying, hey, we're now agile, or just a CX team and saying, we're now agile, it's putting together a really select group across different roles and saying, okay, all of you work together and make this happen in that agile way. That tends to be what we talk about when we're talking about fusion teams.
Cool. And, going forward, being a CMSWire contributor now, what can our readers expect going forward? What kind of things are you watching, the rest of 2022 and even beyond? Is this something that excites you, technology-wise, strategy-wise for CX practitioners going forward?
It's from my perspective, and obviously there's going to be all kinds of trends, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen over the next couple of years. But
tomorrow,
yeah. One of the biggest things that I'm seeing is a lot of CX teams and a lot of, and fusion teams as a whole but really getting refocused on the internal experience. So there's been a lot of effort on the true customer experience, but now you're talking about total or employee experience as well, and leveraging that same skill set. I'm really excited about that. I just kind of come out of a couple of conferences, and the number of people that are talking about how they talk about their business process, and they're saying that it's really hard to train all their staff. It's really hard to retain and hire new people into roles when the experience they're getting in their personal lives because of all the great CX work that's done is so top notch. And then they enter an organization and they're dealing with such terrible experiences.
Yeah.
So there's so much effort, I think, going towards how do we turn the work that we're doing internally in support of our customers, or even just trying to get my own benefits in my own organization, or trying to get my job done. I think we're seeing a lot of effort going towards the making a meaningful change there. And that gets me excited, because I'm a pragmatic person. I like just seeing stuff improved everywhere. And so I like that focus on the internal experience pains that people are having, and trying to make that better.
Good. Well, we're hoping that there are internal experience pains for the Toronto Blue Jays going forward. I know your friend and leader of your company is a humongous Blue Jays fan, and I'm representing the Sox today. At the time of this recording, it is opening day for the Red Sox, so a little bit of a rivalry there with Toronto and Boston. And we'll catch up on the next video interview, see where that stands. Right?
Sounds good. I'm hoping that I'm got bragging rights then.
Well, all right, thanks so much for joining us, being a CMSWire contributor. We're looking forward to your content going forward.
Great. Thank you.
All right.